Today we want to talk about how to present your photography to businesses. Let's get some awesome yeses for your photography. Yep, we're going to talk about selling your print to businesses. I'm so excited. I love this.
Welcome to Capture and Connect. Insight, challenges, and proven strategies to help you take your passion for photography and turn it into an income-generating business. And now here's your host, Janice Sullivan.
I know you've done this. Why? Because you're me. You've walked into a spa, a dentist's office, a hotel lobby, and you just know your work would elevate the space, right? But then when it comes to the big question, how do I actually pitch this? Now, I totally don't like the word pitch. Most of you know, but if you're a newbie, you'll know I don't like that word pitch. But let's just say have a conversation about your work. If you ever felt unsure, awkward, or straight up frozen when it comes to approaching a business, this episode is for you. So the reason why I want to bring this up to you today in this episode is that I had a question from one of my clients. She's awesome, and she's going to go ahead and go out to a different state. And she was thinking about going to some of these businesses and checking them out, which I totally am so excited about. I can't wait to hear what she's going to do because she's in CCBiz and she's going to get even more information when you are one of my clients, right? This podcast episode actually is for her, just to give her the encouragement. I want to tell you a story of mine. I do love wine. I like to go to wineries and check out the different tastings that they have. And living in California was very easy for me to get to these places. So I have been to a lot of wineries, and one of my friends told me about a winery close to where I lived. And she said, you should go check it out because your work would look really good in this place. You should really see if they would buy some work from you. So I went to the winery and I looked around and I'm like, yes, this is the place. And I was so excited. I went to the counter and I was going to be like, do you have a manager or somebody that I could talk to about my photography? And yeah, that's what I was thinking I was going to say. But that didn't come out of my mouth. When I got to the counter, I ended up buying a bottle of wine and walked out because my heart was pounding a mile a minute and I just couldn't spit out the words. And to tell you the truth, I'm so glad I didn't because I was focusing on me. I wasn't focusing on their business. You see, over time, I learned a better way to do this and to really focus on less on me and more on them. That changed everything because it made me feel more confident and I finally got the gig. It really is a win-win situation. On the steps that I'm going to give you today, I have 5 of them. So get a pen and paper so you can write these things down because it's super important that you feel confident and you have that framework on how to take the steps to pitch or communicate to a business that you would love to work with. Okay, I kind of said it before, but number 1, let's start with the business, not your art. Businesses want solutions, not just pretty pictures. Your pitch, your conversation should show how your work creates a mood, supports branding, and improves the experience of their space, right? Instead of saying, I sell flower photography, you say, I help wellness offices create a calm, welcoming environment through nature-inspired photographs. Can you tell that's her work? I'm helping her out. This is what I do for my people. Okay, number 2, do your homework, which she said she was going to do, so I'm very excited about that. But before you approach any business, take time to look and see who's in charge. Who is the manager? Who's the decision maker of that business? So you can do this on Twitter or just look at their website to really get a feel of what type of company this is. So before you actually walk in the doors, you really truly know if this is something that you're interested in. You'll feel so much better because you've kind of got an insider feel for them. I would say do that if you can. You don't have to do all the research on the internet before. This is just a recommendation to get the vibe so you're excited. Because remember, I always say too, you're not chasing the sale. You want to be happy too. You want your pieces to be in a space that you know that the sale is going to benefit you and them. So what I want you to do is pay attention to them, their branding. How does their company make you feel? Does it align with your values? Who you are as an individual, as a creative? Look at their colors. Look at the mood. Who do they serve? Think, how can my art really amplify their message? Bring a curated set, if you can, of images. Or even better, I say a mock-up that shows your work in their actual walls. So what I would do is I love to use an app. Smartest is really good, and I will put that down below. I've used it before. It actually lets you take pictures of spaces, and you could put your art and your photography on the walls so you could show them how things would look. It's pretty amazing, and it goes by sizes too. So you could put the pictures on the wall, show them the dimensions, show them how it would look, and they will be so excited to see this because they're visualizing what you could do for them. Truly is a yes for a sale. All right, number 3, let's make it easy for them to say yes. You see, business owners are super busy just like you are. They don't want to work more. No two ways about it. Do you want to install it yourself so they don't have to worry about it? How about offering something like licensing where they can use 1 or 2 pieces for their marketing? It would help them tremendously, and they would be excited because the work is up on the wall, plus they're going to use your piece for marketing efforts, right? Provide options like maybe they're willing to have your images for sale in their space, and they can have a 20 to 30% commission of what they sell. So basically that would be more of a business partner, right? You could think of it that way. Now, if you don't have any testimonials, then I personally would offer a lower tier for the price that you're doing initially to grab some testimonials. But if you do have testimonials, take care of framing or delivery and install for them. So you could choose more of like I do the rest. That's a higher tier sale because you're going to be doing more so they don't have to worry about it. That's a goal you should have if you're first starting to do this. Grab the testimonials as you work with these businesses to get them to put these wonderful pieces on the wall, and then go above and beyond and take it to the next level. So number 4, use clear business forward language. This is my mistake, right? So instead of saying, I'm going to sell my art to you, avoid that. Instead, say stuff like, what I do is create work for businesses like yours that calm the environment. Now, if you have helped people, then you would say, I've helped spas and wellness centers reduce stress through visual storytelling. Or, like me, I help wineries with my close-up images to create conversations as they enjoy their tasting sessions. See, you definitely want to get in the door and grab a testimonial and use their language so you communicate with them because they're your people. Don't say, I'd love to display my art here. That's so bland and boring. We're at number 5. Offer a low-risk trial, especially if you're first starting off. This is the ace to get people to say yes. I'd love to offer you a no-commitment 15 or 30-day install of a couple of my pieces, and if they work, we'll move forward, and if they don't, I'll just come pick them up, or you can say we can just ship them back to me. This shows that you're very confident with your work and eliminates the risk for them, because remember, they have to trust you. Especially do this if you have not built a lot of testimonials. I know the risk is on you, but if you really have taken the time to do the other steps, then you will be able to know if this company is trustworthy or not. This totally shows confidence in your business and removes the friction from their business. So you can see how powerful this shift was in my own business and the way I approach businesses. So once I started speaking their language, their talk the talk is what I say, solve their problems with what I could do for them, and I went to hearing nothing, getting the crickets, to the yeses. I will say also it was really exciting to see my work up, and it was very special to have it up in the vineyard. The hubby was very proud of me. He helped me hang my prints, and we did everything for the business. And it was really exciting. Not only was I proud, the business was happy and my husband was happy, and that made me feel really good. It was a great win-win situation for both businesses. With these 5 steps, I did mention an email. You can use these in email, but it's very, very important to understand that there is a connection. Capture and Connect is about connection. You can start off with, this sun is really bright. Let's take a walk. Let's take a walk. So in the CCBiz method, again, I do mention the letter that my client gets, but you can use these 5 steps on your own and just write a letter to them. But if you get a chance to actually go into the business and connect with them, that's really going to give you the yes and the excitement of working with these businesses that you truly love. And if you do go in, I want you to take a deep breath and remember, Janice says, you've got this. You are valuable and people pay for value. Until next week, I'm so excited that you joined me on this episode. I have been in the chat. Did you like me being outside? Should I stay inside? I love to hear what you have to say about the episodes that I provide for you. Have a great week. Cheers, my friends. If you would like to get show notes, links that I talk about in the episode, and a bunch of other goodness like freebies to help you build your photography business, then head on over to photobizmethod.com. photobizmethod.com. See you there.